Input criteria 3, equity drawdown in portfolio for multi-charts. With this input, you get in a trading system or a portfolio when things have not been doing well. That's the classic Larry Williams teaching. When things are bad, they're good. And that is so true with trading, and as any veteran trader will know, trade when things are bad, not when they're good. Based on that philosophy, we're going to start trading when the portfolio has not been doing well. How did we define that? We define that by a drawdown in equity. Once we get a major drawdown in equity based on historical relationships, we know this is probably a very good time to get into the trading system. So to implement this, first we go to the portfolio, formatting, go down, and always remember we must have portfolio management on 1, and we would have the switch on true, and equity drawdown. This is measured in dollars. This is set to $3,000 by default, but you can put any number you want. That's it. But best to show you an example of really how this works. I've put 2 portfolios side by side so you can really get an idea how this works to demonstrate it. This is the portfolio with no money management. We have our 3 strategies that we've been using for this analysis, and those are the strategies that we've been using for other examples: consecutive lows, outside day, down, up, down. Okay, there's no money management on these strategies. We've turned all that off so we can just isolate the portfolio. So this is the before. Summary, 29,000. Here's our equity curve. But we're going to use this equity curve because it best shows the results. Now, in our portfolio, like we had discussed, all these switches have been turned on to make this work. 1 for portfolio management, true, 3,000. That's all there is to it. Once you've got that turned on, you back test it and you run it, and this is what you get. Now, as you can see, that you get 2 equity graphs. One is an equity graph based on before, and the other is equity based after. But you can see how the portfolio manipulates this data with this kind of demonstration. As you can see here, the portfolio, all the strategies combined, once we're in a drawdown of at least $3,000 from the equity peak, we will buy. It could be, the portfolio could be down 4,000 or 5,000. There's no limit to the downside. As long as it's below 3,000, we're going to buy. Once it gets to an equity peak, it stops all trading in the portfolio on every strategy, and it looks for the next drawdown of $3,000. Then it starts again. Starts at 3,000 or less, ends at an equity peak, stops until we get a drawdown. Again, you're buying when the portfolio has been doing bad, getting out when it's been doing good. That's how you put the odds in your favor, and it works. So to determine what to put in the drawdown as when to start trading, here's a portfolio with no money management. As you can see, this is the history of it. And you'll see here, going from 1993 to 2024, we've gone down to 5. One time we were down to 7,500. But the nice sweet spot is around 3,000 or between 2,500 and 5,000, right around this little area here. Once you got dips, it tended to maybe sometimes go a little further, but not much, and you were looking to go the other way. So I looked to get in somewhere between this sweet spot. So I just put 3,000. It could be 4,000 drawdown, and that's what we did. And it's based on analysis of the portfolio without the money management to see where the equity dips are. So once that is taken place, you can clearly see when you got an equity drawdown, the portfolio started trading. During this period, you can see it started trading. Okay? Now, once we got to an equity peak, you see that flat line. That's where it completely stopped trading, looking for the next drawdown. And it started trading again. You see it around November of 11. And here you can see you got your equity drawdown, and it started trading on this dip until you got an equity peak again, 2013. And that's where you get, you're going to get that equity peak right here. That's when it stopped trading. So this is what it looks like, what the computer's looking at and simulated, and this is the actual trades the computer is taking. You can see it trades, stops when it gets to an equity peak, starts trading again. This is a drawdown, gets an equity peak, stops, gets a drawdown, gets an equity peak here, stops, starts trading again, equity drawdown, stops here. So all these lines is where it's stopping. Okay. This is after. This is what the computer's looking at. This is the result. And it actually, it's made 29,000. Had you used the performance, it made 27,000. It made a little less money, but you got to remember your portfolio drawdown was 8.26. You had a less drawdown in your portfolio. And also keep in mind that substantially less trades, that would explain the slightly smaller, that would explain the slightly smaller profit, okay? And we had 1,400 plus trades here. We had 584 trades here. So half the trades, but produced virtually the same amount of money. So these kinds of configurations, these are designed to be more selective and to not trade as often, but trade more accurate when you do trade. Obviously, this can be combined with other money management inputs to even be more selective or take advantage of weaknesses in your portfolio to start trading.